Mental illness has always been with us. But for centuries, those who suffered were not treated as patients. They were feared, shunned, or condemned. Some were branded witches. Others were said to be possessed. Too often, they were locked away, hidden from sight, or punished as criminals. By the 1970s, medicine had advanced, but stigma remained. The words had changed, but the judgment had not. Psychiatric institutions were closing across America in a wave called deinstitutionalization. It promised freedom, but freedom without support left thousands stranded. From 1955 to 1975, psychiatric beds plummeted by more than half. Families could not cope. Communities were unprepared. The sick became homeless, or worse, they became suspects. The language of the time reflected the stigma: mentally retarded delinquents, criminally insane. These labels stripped away humanity, reducing illness to crime.
One more time. And then you go back in your room.
When care failed, the justice system stepped in. But courts and prisons were not designed to heal. Those with schizophrenia, depression, or addiction stood trial, not as patients in crisis, but as criminals to be judged. Judges sentenced the sick, juries condemned the vulnerable, and prisons became the largest mental institutions in America. The process was simple: arrest, interrogation, trial, sentence, then prison. At each step, illness was mistaken for defiance. Symptoms were misread as crimes, and the system repeated itself again and again. What began as a medical condition became a lifetime of punishment. The vulnerable were lost in a system built to contain, not to cure. Every case left ripples: broken families, grieving communities, wasted lives. Victims suffered, offenders suffered, and society paid the price of its neglect. A broken system created broken outcomes, and by the 1980s, the crisis could no longer be ignored. Landmark cases began to shift the tide. In 1975, the Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional to confine non-dangerous patients who could survive outside an institution. In 1977, Penn State School was sued for inhumane treatment, leading to its closure. Activists, survivors, and reformers raised their voices. Slowly, the nation began to ask, could justice and mental health work together? By the 1990s, a movement for reform gained strength. Community-based care expanded. Awareness grew. For some, recovery became possible. Among those stories was one man's journey. He endured schizophrenia. He endured the system. And against the odds, he found his way back. His story was written down, not as fiction, but as testimony, a chronicle of illness, survival, and cure. The failures of the 1970s are not just history. They are warnings. The progress of today is not just policy. It is survival. And the future depends on remembering both. The story of one man. The story of us all.